It's me, snitches. Chillin' in my beamer, listening to ether, bumping through the speakers. Know I got the heaters, rockin' don't stop. I keep it rockin' don't stop. I bring in the beat, you know I like the everybody got friends. You know who it is. It's me, snitches.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IEFL Media, IEFL Radio here at YouTube.com. Thank you for listening to our prior show with David Brickley. But we have a special guest for you today, the man who's been MIA for a couple weeks now.
Whoa.
You guys know who it is, David J. Welcome back to the studio. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good. David J back in the studio has a little nice ring to it. So,
All right, well, I want to ask you a few questions here. I'm going to grill you just like I grilled Ryan Food, just like I grilled the Robert Food, just how I grilled the commissioner. Where have you been? Where have you been?
We all sat in that meeting with Commissioner Fuentes, and we kind of discussed the future of the David J Enterprise, David J name. We just, been working on some other things, and no disrespect to the IFL, no disrespect to you personally or the commissioner, but, we have a show, Bricks and Money, every Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. right there on KCR, so got more of a bigger contract from KCR, so that's where my initial goal and trying to elevate that program as much as I possibly can. But I don't forget where I came from. I still enjoy all the storylines, and I wish I could be here with you every week. I guess our agents kind of played phone tag the last couple of weeks, and I apologize for that. But we're here nonetheless, and we are willing to continue our goal here in the IFL of being the best media in fantasy football history.
All right. Well, one quick question that has been brought up to me by fans everywhere I go when they talk about you. They say a man of integrity, just like yourself, signed a contract.
Right.
They signed an IEFL media contract for 2 years. I signed one for one. Mm-hmm. You just opted out of that in not even the first 2 weeks. What do you have to say about that?
I mean, at the end of the day, fans change. And when it comes to the contract, me and the commissioner spoke on it, and it was a bad decision to make. But you can't predict the future. I mean, you can make a contract that you're going to play in the NBA for 10 years, and you bust your knee, and things happen. At the end of the day, we got I got an offer from San Diego State and KCR Radio that's an unbelievable opportunity for me to elevate my career as a sports journalist, and as the IEFL did elevate my career, and that's where I got everything started. I learned everything from the IEFL. I respect that, but I got a bigger deal, and I just got to pursue my career as a sports journalist.
All right, let's move on to the IEFL season so far. What are your first instincts? We haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah, we talked about I believe the second week of the season, but it's been interesting nonetheless. I mean, I think without David Cabalga in the picture, you think the media might be a little less as far as storylines and feuds, but it's been unbelievable. It's been a thing to watch, a thing of beauty, if you might add. I just think that, looking at all the teams and the Dingleberries and Rubers up on top and guys like Team Fu and Bone Crushers on the bottom, it's an unbelievable turn of events, and, it's just going to get better as we go along here.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you 3 words, and for every word that I give you, I want you to say the team that pops into mind. Okay? Do you want to start?
Problem.
All right. This section's called the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's start off with the good.
Okay. When I first say the good, you got to look like a team like the Ruber squad. I mean, they were winning when LT wasn't going, and now LT is firing all cylinders. He looks pretty scary at this point. So, he does say some random things sometimes. It really doesn't make sense to me, you, or anyone else. But at the end of the day, Ruber is he's learning well, being 1-13 and turning around so soon. But let's just he shouldn't have such a big head. He needs to keep that consistency and hopefully provide a sense of calming for his entire team and just continue that excellence throughout the whole entire season.
All right, let's move on to the bad.
When you first think about the bad, you got to think of the Team Fu. I mean, a guy that's been here for 5 years, a guy that has elevated this league and made this league what it is. The 4 founding fathers, I believe we call it here in the IFL. He is not doing an excellent job, and I think it's a matter of having a lot of bad luck. But he's made some questionable management skills that people are questioning throughout the league.
All right, let's move on to the ugly.
The ugly, I mean, it's hard to think, but I think the ugly is the feud between Rubers, Dingles, and the Pro Bowlers. I mean, you can't really know what's going on with these guys. Pro Bowlers, and for the first time in his life, I know I ran to David in the green room. He's actually coming out and saying stuff. And he's actually defended his franchise, where before he would just say, no comment. And I think it's elevating the media, and it's fun for us. But some of the things that the Rubers and Dingles say on a consistent basis are just mind-boggling sometimes.
Yeah, talking about ass whippings and beating a little
Well,
child with a
my
team
thing is,
jersey.
Ruber Squad is an excellent person, excellent man, and is elevating himself as a premier manager. But when you talk about betting $250,000 on a league, I mean, obviously, our franchises aren't making that kind of money to put that on the line. So to use that as an argument, really, I don't get what he's saying. The Pro Boys, maybe kind of saying that, managing skills 100%. I think, the Pro Bowlers need to realize that there is a lot of luck, maybe a little bit more luck than the Pro Bowlers think, and there is a lot of managing skill, more managing skill than the Ruber Squad thing. I think that's where they butt heads.
A good medium right there that you need to come.
Right.
A little bit of Rubers, a little bit of Pro Bowlers gets you.
I think really it's probably 50-50, 60-40 in favor of the managing skills, but I think Pro Bowlers almost thinks that it's 90% managing skills, 10% luck, just because of he wants to. He's won a lot of games and been very successful, and he kind of wants to pat himself on the back in some cases. And with the Ruber Squad, he's been so horrible in the past, he kind of wants to say it's no magic skill at all, and the only reason he lost was pure luck.
All right, let's move on. This week, there's been a lot of trades. I don't know if you've been able to
definitely
keep up with us, but there's been a lot of trades. Let's talk about the first one. Actually, both involve the Moons, but let's first talk about Team Fu. Team Fu trades away. They receive Marvin Harrison and Thomas Jones, and they trade away Frank Gore, the number 4 overall pick, and I'm sorry, my mind's going blank right now, and Anquan Bolden. So what do you think about that? Who got the better deal in that?
I think it's even because you look at a guy like Thomas Jones. He's a guy that could probably be on the free agent wire right now. I mean, he's doing okay, but not a guy that can go in there and start for you. And then you got a guy like Anquan Bolden that has knee problems, and Tim Ratier, I believe the name is a starting. Rattay is a starting quarterback in Arizona, so you can't think that's going to be consistent week in and week out, especially with a guy like that back there that doesn't even know the offense. So I think it basically was a Marvin Harrison for Frank Gore swap. And, Marvin Harrison hasn't been putting up Pro Bowl type numbers, but there's no doubt in the end of the year that Peyton Manning's going to be looking towards the best target he's ever thrown to.
All right, well, we're nearing the end of our show here. It's sad to have you go in a couple minutes here. All right, but now, folks, we're going to do a new segment here. It's called Defend Your Picks. Okay. I asked David J. in the back room which teams he didn't think were going to make the playoffs, and I have it right here. I haven't looked at it yet, and I'm going to see if I agree. I'm going to flip it up, and I'm going to read you what he said, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. So first we have here from the IEFL South, the team that will not be making it is the Moons. Simply, David J., I look at this. I look at Javon Walker coming in, like I said. I look at Javon Walker, Anquan Bolden, right, and I look at Frank Gore, number 4 overall pick, who will get it going. He played against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I mean, what can you expect from him? And in the previous 3 games that he played, he had 3 touchdowns. That's a good player to me.
Javon Walker is a good player, no doubt about it. But I don't see that consistency that he had last year. And whether it's the death of former Pro Bowler Darren Williams or something like that, I just don't see Javon Walker being the same Javon Walker of last year. Whether Jay Cutler is not really performing at a level they should, or the defense is allowing too many points and they're staying on the field too long, I just don't see Javon Walker being a premier receiver that he was for the Pro Bowlers last year.
All right, what about Frank Gore?
Frank Gore is a guy that I like. I like how he brought Frank Gore in. He needed a running back, and I like him bringing that in. I don't think Team Fu should have gave him on so quickly, and that's one thing that Team Fu is getting kind of antsy now. He doesn't have time for patience. He has time. What he has time for is to win and win now. So he had to do something. He had to boost that receiving core, and that's what he had to do.
All right, now let's move on to the IEFL North, the team that will not make it. Well, I can pretty much tell you who this is going to. Wow, the Sizzle Disc will not make it, according to David J. here. I have the 1-5 Team Moons not making it. You have him who just traded away, like you said, his number 1 overall pick. He threw in the towel to me. That's what I think. What do you have to say about Sizzle Disc not making it?
The consistent pick or the public pick is always going to be Team Food, but Sizzle Disc, I think they're going to turn around. They have a lot of good players. You got like Adrian Peterson. That's if we did the draft right now, he'd probably be a top 10 pick. And don't forget that the Sizzle Disc are. They're gonna. I'm sorry. Team Fu is gonna play the likes of Ruber Squad once again. He's gonna play a guy Von Dons. He's gonna play Bone Crushers. Sizzle Disc. So I think that Week 7 matchup versus Sizzle Disc will really prove. I'm sorry, Week 8 matchup will really prove who's gonna win the ball or win the division.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, David J. We hope we can have you several times this year. We wish we could have you every week, but we know your busy schedule keeps us away.
Yeah, IFL is my home and where my heart is, and I will always come back to the place where it got me going.
All right. Thanks a lot, David J. Please tune in next week for IFL Radio.